Good, okay, thank you. I'd like to call to order this regular meeting of the Board of Education at 6:07 PM. If everyone can please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Capabianca,
Here.
Mr. Corey,
Here.
Mr. Predis,
Here.
Mr. Ucalito,
Here.
Ms. Vapiano. Here. Ms. Hona here, Mr. Kisco,
Here.
Mr. Minichia,
Here.
Ms. Richardson. Here. Ms. Toder.
Here.
Mr. Aram.
Yeah.
Mr. Barlow,
Here.
Ms. Ferguson, Ms. Harold. Here. Ms. Klamazewski,
Here.
Ms. Lubomsky,
Here.
Ms. Schulte,
Here.
Mayor Carbone. Don't hear. Okay.
I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda, adding item 7K, Washington DC trip for current ninth graders. It'd be a discussion item and a possible action item, so I for action. Anyone
So
make
moved.
the motion?
Who moved here?
Gary, anyone second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Hold on.
Aye.
Can
Aye.
I ask a question about the agenda though?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, who
Oh,
seconded?
sorry,
I did, I seconded.
second, but now we're in.
Talk about it. There's some things that are on the section for action that we approved last week's meeting. So should those be taken off for action items because we already approved them?
No, because they had to make a change because the state rejected one of our items, so we need to discuss it and bring it back to the table. All those in favor of the amended agenda?
Aye.
Entertain a motion to go into executive session. Oh, I'm sorry. Skipped one. School community service, public participation. The board invites members of the community to speak on topics to be addressed in the agenda or other topics of interest. The board will not allow comments regarding specific staff members, parents, students, or personal grievances. Courtesy is expected in this limited public forum. The participating time will be limited to 3 minutes per person and 10 minutes overall to guarantee efficient operation of the entire meeting. So I'm first going to read into the record a public comment that we received from Marianne Buchanan, who's president of the Torrington Public Schools Administrators Association. Dear members of the Torrington Board of Education, I am writing on behalf of TPSAA to express gratitude for your proactive approach over a year ago in approving the long overdue staff positions to move Torrington Public Schools forward. The education world continues to be increasingly demanding, and we work diligently to meet the needs of our students. As building administrators, the collaboration with our supervisors of special education is essential. The work of overseeing the PPT process, meeting federally mandated timelines, finalizing the IEP process are just a few of the many detailed, time-intensive tasks. The results of your support of these positions has proven to be effective. With the cooperative leadership among administration and the hard work of our teachers, instructional time with non-disabled peers has dramatically increased, and we will continue to work together to serve the needs of all of our learners. This year's new tier of support incorporates the direction and guidance of BCBA, Board Certified Behavioral Analysis, and RBT, Registered Behavioral Technicians, positions in our school to implement ABA, Applied Behavior Analysis, behavior strategies to train our teachers and improve functions of behavior in our students. The ABA strategies allow for the application of behavioral principles to everyday situations and locations such as in classroom settings, community settings, or home settings. The stresses our students faced during the pandemic make the importance of having behavioral support in our schools more evident. Prior to the incorporation of these roles, the Executive Director of Student Services had minimal resources and support to address the tasks that need to be accomplished. We now have that strong, dedicated team. With guidance and leadership from our instructional coaches at the elementary level and directors of intervention and academic support, we are able to focus on instructional strategies to improve our mandated tiers of intervention and pre-referral process for special education, streamline our curriculum maps based on state and national standards and frameworks, and ensure that we provide scientific and research-based common assured experiences for our students across our district schools. This work is vital for us to continue our efforts to improve state test scores, incorporate lessons of relevance and rigor, and prepare students for success in the 21st century. George Samateas stated, "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Let us not forget where we were as a district a few short years ago and the many improvements put forth to move us onward and upward. If the pandemic had occurred just 2 years ago, it is without a doubt our district would have been in a much less favorable position than it is today. The pandemic is challenging for all of us, yet we are on the right course as a district to work through it together." Mrs. Lebonsky often states, "Together we are stronger." We are appreciative to be working with a superintendent, assistant superintendent, and central office staff with their vision, dedication, and commitment to Torrington Public Schools. Working together as the Board of Education, district administration, building administration, teachers, and all support staff, we need to keep our focus and embody that importance of working together so mistakes of the past don't repeat themselves. Is there anyone on the public line that wishes to address the board?
I would.
Go ahead, Jason.
Bernier, Connecticut and Special Education at Torrington Middle School. As always, I want to thank everyone in the Torrington Public School System for all their hard work and dedication. We have proven that we will do what is necessary to get the job done, but I ask at what cost. The entire school system, from admin to faculty and staff, students and parents, are spread thin and drowning. There isn't any more that we can do or should be asked to do. Please be mindful of mental and physical constraints everyone is under. With that being said, if tonight's executive session is in regards to the MOU with the Torrington Education Association, I strongly encourage the Board of Ed to accept this agreement. I don't know what the agreement states, but as staff, we cannot continue to work without such an agreement. To do so is unfair. Congratulations to the Special Ed Department on the great news it will share tonight. We've come a long way and we have further to go. I would also like to ask how many total confirmed cases have affected our district, and as teachers are asked to stay home due to close contact, are those positions being posted with Kelly Services to be filled by substitutes, or are we relying on emergency coverage by staff and building at a greater cost? Also, welcome to new Board of Ed member, Mrs. DePretis, on her appointment to the board. Your fresh vision, insight, and expertise should serve you well. And lastly, I'm pleasantly surprised to hear that the board is going to take on the possibility of a DC trip for the 9th grade, as I just emailed about that recently, and would be willing to work with whomever to make sure that that happens. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay, is there anyone else on the public line that wishes to address the board?
Yes.
Go ahead, please just state your name.
Hello.
Hi, please just state your name and address for the record.
Hi, this is Joryn Grant on Highland Lake Road. Good evening, and thank you for all of your time and hard work. I know that you are all focusing currently on the major infrastructure project that we'll all be voting for next week. And I'd like to say that I hope the community votes in favor for building the new high school. I think it goes without saying that it's much needed. And I, as well as other families who have elementary school age children, are looking forward to the possibilities of that future. While there are many good things being planned like that, I'd like to just offer some shared concerns that I often get as a PTO member. In regards to the reorganization of classes that occurred 2 weeks ago, in one situation that I'm aware of, it was a bit difficult. The child was not assigned a class until the day before and had prior struggles with their teacher's ability to juggle both in-class instruction and remote learning students. And while that has been changed, it seems that clearer communication, as in most cases, would have made this issue a little bit less of a burden for that Torrington family. In my own experience, I had just gotten my first grader used to his routine with his teacher's slides, her meeting schedule, and her general expectations. Right after that, he was placed in a 100% remote class, which to my knowledge at the time was one of the only few that existed, while his sister sat in a 100% remote class already. I had hoped to advocate for him to keep his teacher because he had just started to feel comfortable in the rhythm that he had achieved. After spending a little bit of time in limbo with no technology and things like that, it was working. However, it was not possible. This was noted by parents, teachers, and even current board members that teachers could not effectively manage both in-school students and full remote teachers, which is where we're at today. That issue is an issue that many districts avoided by planning to dedicate teachers or teams of teachers to both in-class students and remote students. Many people voiced major concerns. Why didn't the district just do this to begin with? And to put it plainly, it made people very angry. I'm not angry, but I am concerned. I'm concerned that my child was vehemently fearful of the change, saddened and cried for days, not understanding why he just wasn't put in a class like that to begin with. I had to navigate that. My family had to navigate that alone. And it was, to my vision, an avoidable circumstance. That week was a week full of big feelings for many families that were affected. And I feel like, and they feel like, it could have easily been avoided. That these choices being made from the top aren't being thought out clearly, even when folks within your board are trying to voice them. Lastly, in regards to current communication, specifically surrounding COVID planning, and COVID exposures, I've recently read over the Department of Education's student privacy and policy facts in relation to what information can and cannot be shared with or without consent of affected parties. Some recent communications simply just said schools, when others highlight which schools are affected. I understand that some information may inadvertently make folks nervous and act out of caution, but I can tell you already that without more information, those same folks are online posting and worrying and waiting on bated breath for the call, or for anyone that they know to get the call, so that they can make decisions in regards to their everyday lives, what happens after school. I believe there is middle ground here somewhere that can offer the community more peace of mind and add a bit of humanity to the way that we talk as a community in regards to the administration and the public. In light of the most recent case where third grade was targeted, those people affected shared information that led to concerning conclusions about how children are in fact intermingling and essentially not following the original plan that was communicated to parents. I can say that confidently, kids are telling their parents what's happening, and what's being shared after the fact is adding fuel to the feeling that parents are still being misinformed. I know that we can make a big difference if we make some small changes to how we manage some of these and some other future concerns. Thank you again for all of your time in allowing the public to speak on these matters, and everyone listening or watching, vote for the new Torrington High School. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else on the public line that wishes to address the board? No? Okay. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to go into executive session, inviting in Ms. Schulte and Ms. Slobomsky and Mr. Aram regarding union negotiations.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.